Hello, Micah. Here's your sewer scope from today's inspection. This is me in the basement, obviously just kind of showing you around, giving you a little orientation, letting you know that we're actually in your basements. The V's in the top right corner of your screen, that's supposed to be date and distance. Date, time, and distance. For whatever reason, my counter is gone wacky on me, so it'll start up, but then we'll lose it again. I must have a loose wire somewhere. If you look on the left side of your screen, that's scaling on your cast iron pipe. Really, the big takeaway from this pipe is that there hasn't been a whole lot of upkeep and maintenance over the years in it. I mean, if you have a cast iron and clay pipe, which you do, it just takes a little bit of maintenance periodically. Now, depending upon what your root growth is on your clay sections, it might be every couple of years. It might be every 5 years. It really depends from one house to the next. We're coming up here shortly on a transition to clay, which is right here. Roughly 23 feet before we transition over to clay. Semi-typical. Generally, we're cast iron underneath the person's house, and then we swap over to clay once we're on the other side of the foundation wall. The clay sections, those are roots, so you've got varying degrees of root growth coming into the pipe. And then offsets or lips at the bottom of the pipe. Those are those little bumps right there. I'll show you another one once we make this turn. This isn't that bad. More roots. So clay pipe, typically 4-foot sections that are just pressure fitted together, right? So there's no mechanical connection. So if, like on a downturn, like right here, you're going to have these little lips where the pipes aren't 100% in line with each other. It's a characteristic. Some are worse than others. Sometimes you get to the point where the lip is so bad that you can't jump over it. I apologize for the screen. There's no utility sink in the basement, and the clean out on the main sewer stack where I ran my camera through, that was up 1.5 feet or so on the pipe. So I couldn't run any water from upstairs because I would get drenched if I did. I'm basically kind of stuck with a semi-foggy picture. More root growth obviously there. Functional drainage, right? The flow of the water through the pipe is good. Have not run into any issues with that. Again, we lost the counter. More root growth. Ultimately, I would say you're probably about 80 to 90 feet from the clean out that I went through to the city connection, which is coming up here in just a sec. Slightly bigger offsets, dirty roots, growth, yep. So the biggest thing, and here's your city connection. I would say the biggest takeaway, at least at the moment, I'm not seeing any damage. I'm not seeing any cracks in the pipe. I'm not seeing any defects in the cast iron. That said, there's a lot that's blocking my view, right? So what I would say is at some point within probably the first year of ownership, maybe the sooner better than later, you're going to want to have the pipe cleaned out. Typically when somebody cleans the pipe, they also re-video the pipe and then reevaluate at that point, right? Because you don't know how quickly the roots propagate or grow back into the pipe, you're probably going to want to come back in another 3 years and scope the line again and just see what your root growth looks like. I'm keeping the camera rolling as I pull back. You're more than welcome to watch the return journey if you'd like. Read through the written report and come back to me with any questions. feel free to reach out as much as you need to. I'm always happy to be a resource.